Okay, so DFI have sent me a single board computer which is very special, and this is a lot more powerful than a Raspberry Pi 5 or an Orange Pi 5, and it also runs x64, which is the same as your desktop PC or laptop would use. So compatibility is very good with loads of Linux builds, loads of gaming, loads of emulation. It runs Windows 11 incredibly well, and this is the same size pretty much as my Raspberry Pi 5. But there is one thing that's worth mentioning at this point before everybody gets very excited, and that would be the price. So $465 is obviously quite a lot of money, but it is an incredible piece of kit. And this is more really an industrial board. It's not really meant as a competitor to a Raspberry Pi 5. This is definitely designed to be used in professional applications where space is a premium, but you need very good power and also very good durability as well. And in my tests, it's just been super impressive. So this board is up to 50% faster than the previous version, and it's using the Ryzen R2000, and it's got an AMD Radeon Vega GPU. So the one that's in mine is the R2514, which is from 2.1 gigahertz up to 3.7 gigahertz. It's capable of 4K, obviously. It has an inbuilt eMMC drive. Mine's got 64 gig, which is not really enough for Windows, but I've been using an external drive. This 4 terabyte Seagate to be able to hold the games, because GTA on its own is 100 gig. So the board has an M.2 slot on it, but it doesn't fit my drives. It's actually designed for Bluetooth and Wi-Fi, so it doesn't have Bluetooth and Wi-Fi on it, but I've been using Ethernet. You can see there's a couple of USB 3, I think 3.1 sockets on there, full-size HDMI, and a couple of buttons, and one of these seems to be reset, and one of them seems to be power. And it has this immense cooler on it, which actually has a really nice fan on it. It is quite noisy, and that's because I haven't got any software to be able to control the speed of it. I would slow it down. I did try using it without the cooler, and I'll actually start it up without the cooler. So if I unplug this, so I'm just going to be using this heatsink to be able to cool it down. You can see power is different. It's actually got almost like an F plug on a satellite box to connect, and we just pop this in. Again, industrial, and then this screws together. That's not coming out on its own, and it's actually screwed in to the positive and negative on that cable. And this power adapter that comes with it is much more like a laptop power adapter. It's 12 volt 5 amp, so a 60 watt power adapter. And actually in ETA Prime's video and also Nova Spirit Tech, they mentioned that you can use this with 35 watts and also 45 watts, which you can set with software. I'm using this in the default configuration, which is 12 watts, and I'm still getting great performance, but it also still does get quite hot, and not with the fan running. With the fan running, it stays icy cool, it's excellent, but it definitely needs the fan or some other big heatsink if you're going to be running it at those really higher wattages, or higher wattages when we're comparing to an ARM-based device, which what's this, using 3 watts at the moment. It's only showing just the lock screen there. So let's shut down my Pi and switch it all over to the DFI device. I have been playing around with all sorts of things on it. I've really enjoyed it as well. It's nice to try an x64 device for a change. So I've pretty much taken to using USB dock all the time now. I just find it much more simple. So what have we got here? I've got a sound card in here to USB sound card to send the audio to my speaker. I've got, this is my Xbox 360 controller dongle. I've got mouse and keyboard plugged in here. So when I transfer all this over to the DFI board, and I pop my keyboard directly in because that's the way I can access the BIOS, because we have a BIOS because it's an x64 device. And then full-size HDMI, which is nice, but only one HDMI. No USB-C DisplayPort output or anything like that. So let's move this out the way. And then I'll switch on the device. And if you keep tapping the delete key on startup, you get this AMI BIOS. And as you can see, various different information in here. There's some advanced information here, CPU configuration. I see there's a core performance boost option here, and you can see you can pick your boot device if there's more than one connected, and the usual save and exit. Now this has been on for about 10 minutes at the moment, So let's have a look at the heat map to see how hot it is. So with the BIOS running, using my thermal camera, you can see that it's registering 68 degrees, 70 degrees in some parts as well. What's that, 73? And that's just been on for 10 minutes. So yeah, this isn't adequate enough cooling, because actually to touch it, it is reasonably hot. But it did come with a fan, so let's plug it in and it cools out. That's really hot on the back side of it. I need something plastic to touch it with. Let's use this Oracle case. So let's push that in. There you go. And you can hear the fan noise start up, and that will cool that super quick. So let's just boot the operating system. And this would have been Windows 11, but I overwrit the eMMC drive inside the device. My fault entirely with Kubuntu. It's not a problem. I'm going to put Windows 11 back on it, but I thought I'd show KDE Plasma because it does work really well with it. And I've also got a bit of emulation within that OS as well. So you can see this is the BIOS, so we could go back into that, but it will just boot on its own from the inbuilt eMMC drive. And I've already themed it pretty much the same as I themed my Raspberry Pi 5. So you can see the temperature already in that very short time of it just booting up is already at 52 degrees. The maximum it's been, it was still cooling down when I started it up. But yeah, it will get it down to I think about 30 or something like that. It's seriously cool. So let's go straight in with a bit of emulation. Just grab my Xbox controller and press the Windows key and start typing Dolphin, and that will launch the Dolphin emulator. And the operating system is incredibly fast. You know, Linux is a lighter operating system. This is a very powerful device. So let's go with a bit of Dave Mirra Freestyle BMX, often requested because it is the best game of all time. And I'm running this at 3 times GameCube resolution. And it runs really well. I was playing this quite a bit last night, and you can see, I mean, it doesn't struggle with anything at 3 times resolution, and it looks so crispy, even on these menus, but when you get into the game, it just looks excellent. I can't believe how clear it looks. So, lovely and smooth. Are we going to make that? Yes, we are. And yeah, I'm really impressed with it, and I've been playing it. Oh, that was nice. Oh, I was going to try and land that on the front wheel. Never mind. But you can see, not struggling with that at all. It is running brilliantly. Let's look at Dave. There you go. I mean, it's an old game, but at 3 times resolution, I've not been able to run it. Whoa, got a bit stuck there. I've not been able to run this sort of resolution on any of the other devices and have it so silky smooth. Yeah, just brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. I'm very happy. So let's quit out of that. I haven't tried any of the other games in this resolution. So we have got Auto Modelista, which is one of the harder ones to run. I can't remember if we had FPS. Oh yeah, we did have FPS on the screen all the time. But let's see how well this runs. This game does tend to struggle on a lot of systems, and I'm still set to 3 times. So let's see what happens. Okay, let's see how it handles it. What have we got? 46, 47 FPS. I find this very hard to navigate. It's like one of the, you know, very powerful rear-wheel drive cars on Gran Turismo, but even more so. I mean, look at that sliding. I'm hardly turning, but you can see that at 3 times resolution, it does look lovely and crisp. It's definitely slowing down a bit. So let's try that at the 1 times. Oh, and also Vulkan is off, so let's put Vulkan on as well. Adapter AMD Radeon graphics. Oh, okay, so maybe we'll try that again at 3 times. I thought I'd selected that, but let's give that a go. So Auto Modelista. Okay, so the start with all the cars around is probably going to be worse anyway. It feels better. Yeah, once we're clear of those cars, look, we're getting 55, 56, all enhancements. And let's just get a 1 type or native. And what have we got? Oh yeah, Subaru. Oh, there you go. So we've got a 4-wheel drive car. Ah, now we're talking, look. 60, 61 FPS. Oh, and it feels much nicer as well. And it's, oh, it's a bit slidey. Last place. God, certainly is slidey. 51. Well, it's definitely holding on to it better than it was before. But this is known as a hard game to emulate. Right, so anyway, that's a bit of emulation. Let's quit out of that and just show you a few other things running. So if we go to the, I've got two web browsers on there, let's go to Chrome. And let's just open up a few tabs. So BBC Sport, and then let's get another one, Hot UK Deals. And another one, Raspberry Pi, and let's see how quick all of this launches. I mean, I have found it to be incredibly fast, and it feels more like my M1 Mac. Even with Windows 11, it really was lovely to use. So you can see, even with things with lots of pages of, lots of photos and video links and things like that, it doesn't struggle at all. Let's just accept that, and then yeah, excellent. So lovely and fast, and if you just keep opening things up, it tends to cope with it really well. So what have we got on here? HTOP as well. And let's just minimize a few of these bits and show you that yeah, everything is lovely and fast and lovely and smooth. But let's try a different operating system on here. Let's try a bit of Batocera, which is a multi-game emulator system, still based on Linux, and let's have a look and see how well that runs. So I've shut down. Again, everything just happens super fast. So I plugged in a 64 gig USB stick. This is a Samsung bar, and I put some ROMs and some BIOS files on here, and you can see it said on the bottom there, booting Batocera. And I've got my controller, and you can see I've got a few different systems on here. The most recent one being PS2, which is here. Okay, so let's try a bit of PlayStation first and a bit of Tekken. I haven't put a separate BIOS file in this, or I haven't linked the BIOS file. I have for the PS2. Yeah, I can feel straight away it feels absolutely fine. No problem at all. Nice dodging by me. Oh. Okay, I never was good at Tekken anyway. What's the kick button? Oh, that one. Let's try something else. What have I got? So, PlayStation Portable, a bit of Outrun. Now this is running through PPSSPP, so you can change the resolution. So if I press the start button, no, the home button, and go to settings, what was I messing about with? So yeah, again, we can select Vulkan and restart it. And then we can go back to settings, and let's go for 3 times PSP. Or no, let's go for 4 times because that's 1080. And back to the game. The menus never look 4 times, but when you get into the game it definitely does. Because remember, this was a very small device. You can see it's looking very, very crisp. My Ferrari is looking rather nice there. Let's get a bit of slide. I love the sliding on this, it's just so ridiculous. So we haven't got FPS on there, but I think you can tell it's running really well. And you are supposed to hit the cars here, I think. Yeah, you are. So yeah, no problems at all with that. Lovely and smooth. That's just great. I just love the handling on this. It's so ridiculous, but really good fun to play. Okay, so let's quit out of that. Again, this does it a little bit differently, so you exit to menu and then exit. And what else have we got on there? N64 is often quite hard to run. Haven't tried Perfect Dark for ages. The last time I played this, I wasn't that keen on the controls. Shame we haven't got the FPS. Oh, we're in that. Oh, oh, the controls are terrible. Right, but let's just run around a little bit and see. Yeah, you can see that looks like it's coping with that perfectly well. The Wii had Mario Kart on here. I've not got a Wii controller, I'm just using the standard controller. I do have the Dolphin bar and also a Wiimote, which I've shown in other videos, so you can properly emulate a Wii. But this doesn't seem to need it. It looks like you can get into the game and actually just start driving. Oh, wrong way. Oh, it feels pretty fast. Probably could have stayed out of the way of that. And we have got frames, but we've got frame 3000. Input 0, lag 1. Yeah, that feels pretty good actually. Let's just get to one of the bits where we speed up a bit. There you go, this corner will give you an idea of speed. Oh, we have got FPS at the top, I missed it, 60 FPS. Yeah, it's not slowing down on that, is it? Yeah, very nice. So, I think PS2 is the main one. Oh, we've got something weird going on here. Oh no, it's alright, it did manage to do it. So that was the Dolphin emulator in the background there. So, oh, a bit of Dreamcast. Some of these driving games do. Oh, I haven't got a car. Have I got to buy a car? Okay, what have we got? 30 FPS. I'm guessing the game is meant to run at 30, yeah, because it's sticking around that pretty well. Yeah, Dreamcast is working. Let's go a bit of Burnout 3. Burnout 3 is really hard to emulate. I've been told this because I've been trying it in some other videos. But I did actually get it playable, and I did play probably 3 or 4 races, no, maybe 2 or 3 races the other night, and really got into it. It's still slowing down a bit, but it is playable and it's enjoyable at this speed. Okay, so no FPS unfortunately, but it's definitely not doing all the horrible slowdowns and the garbled noises and things like that. Oh, I missed that. So it's a bit of slowdown, but certainly not a lot, and it is playable. Right, so all tight corner. Let's speed through. Oh no, too much speed. Oh, that was me taking out someone else. Just happened to be a red car. Can we take this one out? No, we can't. So I think you can see that, yeah, that's working to a point where it feels enjoyable. Let's see if we can get a bit more speed. Let's get through here. Let's get this guy. Come on. Oh, I took him out. Oh no, but then probably taking myself out. Yeah. Okay, so let's quit out of that. What else have we got? We'll try Shadow of the Colossus, which is quite a hard game to run. Okay, looks pretty smooth. Such a beautiful looking game. Where's my horse? There we are. There we go. Yeah, this definitely seems to be, it seems to feel alright. Is this going to take us outside? Yeah. I'm pretty sure when I played this on, I don't know if it was Orange Pie, when you got outside it really didn't cope with it very well because there's so much in the background. But that looks pretty decent actually. Yeah, I'm happy with that. My horse is running nice and fast. And if I press jump, I'm off. Look at the big massive building in the background, that's so cool. Right, let's quit out of that because what I really want to do is reinstall Windows 11. So if I shut that down, and I've restarted in the BIOS, so let's boot from my USB stick. So save that. And this will install Windows 11 using Rufus. So I'll come back when all that's done. So I've got this running from this external drive, and it's plugged into my hub, and I've got my controller plugged in as well. And I've had to play around with it a bit because it's an installation I did on another device. But I think I've got there. It's just installing the Rockstar Games launcher. Okay, so GTA has launched. I'm running at 720. For some reason my capture device doesn't like the source that's coming through. It does it occasionally on certain resolutions and things like that. But just to have a look around at 720, Let's just refuse that call. But let's just have a little play around, have a little drive and see how well it's coping. Yeah, it's coping really well. Let's do a little, skid? Oh no! Yeah, that was the wrong button. But I'm always amazed at the amount of people in the game. Look how many characters there are moving around, how many vehicles you can just get in and out of, and how far you can see in the distance. And this is on a computer that is absolutely tiny, with no extra graphics card or anything like that. It's only using the onboard graphics, and yeah, the performance is surprisingly good. Let's take a different car. Let's have this little one here. That looks pretty cool. The shine on it and everything as well. For a game that's over 10 years old, it just is so good. This is a really nice looking car. Right, are my buttons wrong? Yeah, what? I don't know what a handbrake is. But it definitely seems to be working and seems to be coping really well with that. I just wish I had a handbrake. Oh, is that a nice car? That looks quite expensive. And quite fast maybe. That got a bit nasty, so I've cut that bit out. Oh, and I need to cut out the audio. Everything is working so well. Yeah, I need to configure my controller because some of the buttons are a bit strange, but even when I'm going pretty fast, you can see that's coping pretty well. Oh, it's the police after me. Oh, what have I done wrong? But look, just incredible. It was a big install. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, this is nice. Look at the engine on that. Oh, no, not that one. Quick, please come in. And shooting at me. That's a nice looking car. Oh, and they've shot my tyres at. Oh, that's not so good. And the rumble is working on my Xbox 360 controller because I'm riding on rims. But cut out some of the language, but yeah, this is just, after all this time, is such an incredible game. Oh, steady. Okay, let's head down one of these. Oh, this is going to be a good way out, maybe. Okay, well, I think I've proven that it definitely works well on this. It's running very well, it hasn't crashed, it hasn't... Oh, police over there. Oh, and that truck's a bit far away. So just jump over here, what do you reckon? Oh! How far a jump is it? Too far? Too far. So just to show that it was running on this, if I press the Windows key, it goes black screen for quite a while. But you can see that it's running Windows. I'm running the desktop at 720. It works fine at 1080, but for GTA, obviously, it's going to need that little extra. So if we lower it down to 720, we're going to get better performance. But yeah, I have to say, just super impressed with this. Yeah, I know it's a lot of money, but it is amazing that something this small can perform as well as it does. Okay, so I hope all this helps. Thanks very much for watching. Please like and subscribe.